You crushed my skull!
Get your backyard wrestling merch at ProWrestlingTees.com.
All right, so this is summer 2003. I want to say this is like August. This is in CCW. This is right before we started wrestling in front of an audience. So we're wrestling at this park, which we would come back to for the underground era. But we got no fans. We're still figuring out what kind of Fed we want to be. And here comes Johann Spiderman falling out of a tree. So, spoilers, I portrayed Spiderman, and much like when I portrayed El Diablo, I wanted him to be very different from Craven. So his mannerisms were different, his moveset was different, the way he wrestled was different. I really wanted to do that Clark Kent thing where people can't tell we're the same person, right? And I'm taking on Lucifer E., who was, spoilers, portrayed by Nappy. Originally, Lucifer E. was portrayed by a guy named B Money back in PWL. When B Money left, we kept the character, and just Nappy took over the gimmick. So this is Spiderman and Lucifer E. And much like how Craven and Nappy would have good chemistry together, so would Spiderman and Lucifer E. So we tried to do like a little leapfrog spot there. I'm going to hop on his back. He's going to give me a stunner. And I'm just going to oversell the shit out of that stunner by rolling. The thing is, I didn't take into account that there's like a little hill here, and I could not stop myself from rolling. I just kept going, and right there I'm like, oh God, help, help. And I almost went right into those bushes. So, spoilers, this match isn't going to be a 5-star catch-as-catch-can classic. It's going to be a lot of silly shit, right? But it's Spiderman and Lucifer E. This costume I'm wearing is literally, I found just a white long sleeve or a blue long sleeve shirt somewhere. I put red duct tape on it. I drew the little spider and the spider web pattern, and then I put clear mailing tape over it to like lock it in so the Sharpie wouldn't rub off. And then I did the same thing for the boot tops on those blue pants. I found those blue pants under a freeway overpass, and it was like, oh sweet, free pants. I mean, I washed them before I wore them, but still, that's kind of gross. But when you grow up poor, that's you do what you got to do, right? So here's what are we doing here? He's going for something. It was really hard to see in these masks. You got no peripheral vision. You know, his mask was way more breathable than the Spider-Man mask. Like, it was kind of hard for me to breathe sometimes because it's like cutting off the oxygen a little bit because it's really tight, and then there's no like mouth holes. So it wasn't easy to wrestle in these costumes, but we tried to have fun with it. Here, he's just going on a little rant, and I'm just like, the hell are you doing? Oh, and then I could never like kip up, but I could do that little let me roll backwards and land on my feet thing. We got TPG as the ref, and a lot of times when we would do these masked mid-carder matches, we would just be trying to pop the boys. We would just try to make each other laugh and do silly stuff. But here, he's going to get me up for the electric chair drop, and then this was Spider-Man's trademark move here. It was the electric chair DDT. I just fall off your shoulders, hit you with a DDT. If you look, E rolled right on top of me, and like all his weight went into my head and kind of crushed my head a little bit. And I called that out there after I did the move. I was like, you crushed my skull. And then I got him in some kind of submission. Man, I was fit back in those days. But it's weird knowing what CCW would become with the glass tubes and the flaming chair and the thumbtacks and the serious wrestling we would do, and how we had an audience that we turned into wrestling fans, and the RCW war. Like, looking at all that and then looking at this, it feels like two different promotions. It does not feel like the same Fed. We were very much in a transitional period, coming off of PWL, which was very silly and very comedy-based, and transitioning to what CCW would become, and this is like the middle ground between that. Spoilers, this is like Spider-Man's one of 2 matches. He had one more match the following week, and then he was done because we started wrestling in front of fans, and we didn't want to bring these silly gimmicks in front of people. So, Spider-Man was not long for this world. But bless his heart, I'm out here trying to have fun. Right? One advantage of having the masked gimmicks was that if you only got 4 people, okay, you're going to get what, 2 matches? Cool. Well, you have masked characters. Now you can get like 4 matches. So it frees up your creativity. It lets you build out a card. It lets you have, an opening, a mid-card, and then your main event. It kind of lets you pace out a show a little bit better. Especially like you throw a match like this before the main event, so that way it's like a let-me-up match before your serious main event, so you can kind of like control the crowd. But, again, we never did these gimmicks in front of a crowd. I don't think they would have worked. I don't think people would have taken them seriously. And people would have known it was us, so it would have like ruined the kayfabe we were able to use at the time. So I'm kind of glad that these gimmicks died a death. I understand why we had them. They were fun for a while, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, they were not long for this world. What's Spider-Man go? Oh, is it a little play of the day? Whatever that move was. I think Elix Skipper did that move. I don't know if Randy Orton did that move. I think MVP also did that move. But this is 03. I don't remember when MVP debuted. I know we got it from Elix Skipper in TNA. But then he's yelling at me like, Sal, for the love of God, Sal. Because I'm like no-selling his offense. And this is bad. Like, not every match I cover on here is going to be a 5-star classic, right? This match was bad, but this is a match we built up to for weeks. For weeks, we had those He's Coming videos hyping up the debut of Spider-Man. And then this is it. This is his big debut. This is the debut we made such a fuss about. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be. Going for a pin, he kicks out. I think we're coming to the end here because you can tell we're both gassed. Wrestling in those masks, like you run out of gas quicker than normal because it's hard to breathe in them. Wow, God, we're just kind of going through the motions here, and then he's mad because I kept slapping him in the back, and I'm like, "Give me your arm so I can do the little finish thing we talked about." And I flipped him, and then I jump through and bridge back and turn it into a pin. 1, 2, 3. Spider-Man wins, but then I couldn't get up. Like, my legs were locked there and I needed help getting off of him. So the TPG literally had to like pull me off of E. But that was it. That was Spider-Man's debut, and he would not be long for this world.